Hello and welcome to the Justice Factor, live from Hyde Park, Johannesburg. President Jacob Zuma will deliver the State of the Nation speech on Thursday in Cape Town. Or will he? The economic freedom fighters have said the president must first answer questions on Nkandla before presenting his speech, or else he will be heckled. EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu joins us today to tell us why and how the party intends to do this. After that discussion, as usual, the winners and losers of the week. But first, we look at the rules and regulations of Parliament and what happens when an unprecedented occurrence such as threats to disrupt the State of the Nation speech take place. For that, we are joined by former Agriculture Minister and now Presiding Officer of Parliament, Thoko Didiza. Ms. Didiza, welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much, Justin.
First, will you just, for our readers, for all of us, tell us what exactly does the National Assembly House Chair do?
Well, as you know, that in terms of the Constitution, the National Assembly, once it's constituted, it would elect the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, and thereafter it would elect the President. But also, within the Constitution, it allows that the National Assembly can, or may rather, elect some members among itself who will then assist the Speaker in her work. So those are they are called House Chairpersons, who have responsibilities that are delegated to them as they assist the Speaker. One of those will be the House Chairperson for committees, House Chairperson for international relations, House Chairperson for internal arrangement, of which I am. One of the responsibilities, apart from the specific duties relating to one's portfolio, it's also to assist the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker in presiding over the National Assembly.
So, as part of your job, you would have been absolutely appalled that President Zuma has to account to Parliament once every quarter, to the National Assembly once every quarter, answer questions, and that he didn't do so.
Well, as a presiding officer, as you'd know, that the Constitution will provide that the President, as well as the Executive, will account to Parliament for the work that they conduct. It actually says at least 4 times a year. Well, as you say, that you could say once a quarter. But you'd recall that last year, because it was the elections, Parliament started after the elections, so we didn't have a full year. So we wouldn't necessarily expect a full quarter. So rather a full year.
But you'd expect the President to appear more than twice.
Well, not necessarily. As it is indicated that at least, so the President did appear, obviously, to answer questions. He appeared in the beginning of the term to give the State of the Nation address, but as we all know that there were challenges and he was not able to finish his question time.
That was in August.
Parliament.
Surely he could have made another appointment to come to the House again. Surely you, in fact, as my representative in Parliament, you should have made sure that he actually comes and takes questions from members of Parliament.
Well, the Speaker of Parliament did indeed engage with the Office of the President to secure an opportunity for him to come to Parliament and answer questions as is expected. And we have already now received the date in which the President
I'm not sure that I'm happy with the tone that you've taken. You engage with the President. You're the boss. The Executive. You used to be Minister of Public Works, Minister of Agriculture. If Parliament says, Minister, come and tell us what's going on the matter of, say, if you're public enterprises of ESCOM. That's your boss telling you, come and account. But it sounds like you are going to President Zuma and saying, please.
No, Justice. Remember that in terms of Parliament and its functioning, there are rules and procedures that govern that, functioning, or rather that work of Parliament. And it indicates how the processes are actually involved in terms of having the members of the Executive to account, including the President, including the Deputy President. Obviously, Parliament will engage with the members of the Executive, will put the time for the questioning so that members of the Executive can come and account to Parliament. So the engagement, obviously, we take into consideration that members of the Executive, including the President, have got other responsibilities. Not that it's not important to come to Parliament, it is. And that's why the Speaker as per her commitment, had continuously engaged with the Office of the President to get the date in which the President must come and answer questions in Parliament.
Well, what do the rules say about a member of Parliament, perhaps a member of the African National Congress, standing up and saying on a point of order, I know that this is the state of the nation, but I have a question, and that is that you must stand up and answer this question on Nkandla or any other urgent matter. What happens on Thursday?
You must remember that the State of the Nation address is actually one of those opportunities in which the President asked to come to Parliament, as is part of the rules and also as is in the Constitution, where the President can actually ask the Speaker to come and address Parliament, which is joint houses, that is National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces, to actually address the Parliament on, matters that require him to address the nation on. So the State of the Nation address is actually a joint sitting of Parliament, which means it is the matter of both the National Assembly and the Council of Provinces.
But if a member of the National Assembly feels that the President has not fulfilled his obligations in the National Assembly, this is the first opportunity that they're ever going to get the President to account. Surely they can raise...
Remember, the business of the State of the Nation address is the business of the joint house. So when a member of the National Assembly wishes to raise questions that emerged in either house, either a member of the NCOP, which is the National Council of Provinces, or the member of the National Assembly, would have to address those within the respective house of which that was the business.
So what you're saying is that the rules do not allow any member of Parliament on Thursday to actually ask a question?
Not on the business of one of its houses, it doesn't.
If it's a matter that is of concern to the whole nation, of a matter that is concerned to both houses, and that is the matter of accounting on the expenditure on the Nkandla household. Remember
that the President has the opportunity to answer questions in the National Assembly and in the NCOP. And if there is a member of the National Assembly who feel, as you indicate, that the question was not answered within the National Assembly at an expected time, that member would have to raise that question in the appropriate house.
Will you call in the riot police should things take a turn for the bad on Thursday?
Why should we think of the riot police immediately? I don't think, sitting where I'm sitting, that there is any untoward occurrence that might require any police. However, in terms of the rules of Parliament, it indicates on the rules how you can deal with issues of disruption that occurs, issues of misconduct, issues where a member or members disrupts the House, and how the presiding officer at the time will actually firstly talk to the member concerned to actually behave.
So you're saying you could call in the riot police if it comes to that?
That's why I'm saying to you that I was explaining the process. Once a member does not obey the ruling of the Speaker and the Speaker asks, or the National Council of Provinces, if it's in the NCOP, asks the respective member to leave the House and the member does not leave the House, the next process, it's where the Sergeant at Arms is asked to assist the Speaker to remove the respective member.
Yeah. This is my last question to you. Do you agree with the fact that the riot police did enter the House last year and that we now have an unprecedented situation where members of the riot police have entered the House and actually...
Well, I don't think it would be appropriate for you to say, do I agree that, members of the riot police...
Aren't you appalled? Shouldn't you be appalled?
No, Justice, in terms of the security of Parliament, it vests with the Speaker. And it actually says that if there is an occurrence where there will be, endangered members as a result of a behavior of particular member or members in the House, the Speaker may ask for the assistance of the protection services, including the police.
Thoko Didiza, National Assemmbly House Chairperson, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break, we ask why the EFF does not wait for President Zuma to answer questions to Parliament on March 11. Stay with us.